This is our summer topic. Luka Doncic 2.0 has entered the chat. And I submit to you, Spike, that the theme of our podcast might be internet speak, because I immediately winced when I saw that title. Just what is that? Why is that said like that? And why am I wincing? I'm not sure. And this is an interesting one for a variety of reasons. It's in Men's Health.
Yep.
I don't know anything about the writer, and I'm sorry if I'm cruel in any kind of way to Andrew Heffernan and Ebenezer Samuel, but very strange article.
Fake person.
Well, it feels fake. It feels AI generated. And what people caught, and there was a note in it. I was looking for it when I read it. I was disappointed because I saw people reacting to it, but then I saw the note. An earlier version of the story incorrectly stated that Doncic recorded a 42-inch vertical leap at the 2018 NBA Scouting Combine. He, in fact, did not participate in the 2018 NBA Scouting Combine. It's just this sense when I read the article, there's something to the way the vernacular, it feels like a robot did it who isn't that familiar with basketball, combined with this strange topic of Luka having been fat, hitting back against the haters for criticizing him. Not much of an explanation for why he got that way, but now he's not fat, haters. Don't you see? He's really in shape. Admire it. And that's the whole thing. But I'm talking a lot. Your turn.
Well, yeah, I thought I'm always, for some reason, I'm not like Mr. AI guy or anything, but I'm always on the lookout for people who choose to blame AI for like everything, for like look for reasons why, like if it was wrong about something, they'll go as if you weren't able to find wrong things on the internet prior.
Yeah.
So when the 42-inch 42-inch vertical thing came out, there was a lot of like, dummy used AI, as if you couldn't have just Googled that and found an incorrect thing in the first place anyway. But there were sections of the article like that felt like, if you read enough ChatGPT, you know the tone, and felt like it was written by it. I almost wonder if there's going to be some sort of like self-fulfilling prophecy when people who have grown up using it enough end up copying the vernacular of the LLM, and we can't tell who's like, not that the LLMs have gotten so good that we can't tell, but like we have started copying them. Like there just becomes this one way to talk. And then there's the whole fat thing is because really, if you're a player of his level, who he's not trying to convince the Lakers to re-sign him. They would love to sign him to an extension. There's nothing there. What is the point of this? Like, what is the point of, and by the way, obviously Photoshop pictures, like some of them don't even look like him. And by the way, comparatively, we call him fat. He is fat compared to other NBA players. If you see him in regular clothes, he will look like a normal fit man. So when you see him in regular clothes and he looks like a normal person, it's because he's fat compared to NBA players. He's not like a big fat guy. I don't know. Now I'm talking a lot. I thought the whole thing was, and to pick Men's Health, which may have been a big magazine maybe 15 years ago or 20 years ago. I don't really hear much about it anymore.
It was that or Maxim were the final two, is what I heard between the two there.
Yeah, the whole thing was very curious. The article was curious. The fact that they picked somebody who probably didn't, one of them doesn't exist. The other one doesn't know much about basketball. And then like, why now? If you're the person, I would imagine that in the Lakers infrastructure who is most worried about Luka being in shape is JJ Redick, right? Yeah, I could say a lot of negative things about JJ Redick, but he was always superiorly conditioned, and I would imagine he would demand that out of the players. But it's not like you're going to convince JJ Redick that you're in good shape with some Photoshopped article in July, right? It's like Redick will see him at the end of September and be able to tell whether he's fat or not. The whole thing is very strange.
I'm identifying one aspect that just smacked of GPT to me. Okay. It was when I asked these LLMs, write an article in the voice of Ethan Strauss, and it spit something back, and I go, that doesn't sound, it's a dork kind of sound, it doesn't sound right. But this was This was also that, but also incorrect, and the sort of mistake a machine might make. Such athletic gifts aren't as immediately evident as a highlight reel dunk from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or a god-level chase down block from LeBron.
Yes. That's 100% ChatGPT sounding.
And it's not something that people associate with SGA. It's something a machine might make a mistake on. I don't know how that mistake would have been arrived at. Maybe we think that was just a human who doesn't know basketball that much, but the tone, the tenor of it, I might just want to start reading from it, if you don't mind.
No,
and stop when it makes sense to stop. Luka Doncic knows that you're thinking he looks lean as heck now. It's the first sentence in the article. It's a strong first sentence. That's because he's thinking the exact same thing. It's an early morning in July in a quiet town in Croatia, and the 5-time NBA All-Star is alone on a private basketball court, working out with trainer, there's no way I'm pronouncing it correctly, Anze Masic, midway through a 90-minute session that blends weight training, agility work, and shooting drills. This is the first of the day's 2 workouts for the Los Angeles Lakers star in what may be the most pivotal season of his career, and he's doing it fasted, just as he's done for much of the summer. At the moment, he's driving to the basket, a thick resistance band strapped to his waist, pulling against him during every shot. The workout consists of a series of circuits, each set up to include an on-court challenge, like those resistance band layups, and an upper body and lower body exercise. This is just so strange.
It also sounds like what almost every NBA player is probably doing in the offseason. Yeah. Like, it doesn't sound that impressive, honestly. It is like, you know what I would be interested in? I would be interested in a honest article with him about truly what is at the heart of his inability, of like why this isn't important to him, and some honest answers about, hey, like, I dominate anyway. Like, I would love to hear him say that in an honest way. I always dominated anyway.
I have a perverse need to win this way. It just feels good to win as a fatty.
Yes.
He moves swiftly from circuit to circuit, banging out hip stretches one moment, working through renegade rows the next. It's a session with barely any breathers, which is fine. This version of Doncic doesn't need them. This Luka is ... different. There's a picture that looks, I don't want to be a truther. It does look like they photoshopped some 5'10" skinny guy's shoulders and arms onto him as he's doing a deadlift.
Well, the cover shot looks like, if you've ever had women do, because they're good at it, like they know angles for photos better than men do. If you have a woman take a picture of you, she will oftentimes take a picture from higher up looking down because it slims you out and makes you look like longer. And the cover shot looks like it is that angle. Like it looks like it is the high angle to make him look slimmer.
I'm fascinated by why that matters so much, and why if I take a picture from under my chin, it's just the most disgusting thing in the world. Yeah. Now it's getting a little bit steamy here. You see it in the way his Jordan brand jersey hangs loose, and the new hints of definition on his arms. You see it in the complete absence of fatigue he shows when going from heavy Romanian deadlifts to dumbbell bench presses to lateral bounds, one right after the other. And you see it in the way he smiles when he admits that he's noticed his sleek silhouette in the mirror. He subtly nods to his reshaped delts during our Zoom interview. And as he splays out his long-limbed physique on the bleachers in the gym, he seems relaxed.
50 Shades of Luka. That's what this part is reading like.
He seems relaxed, calmly making eye contact, Spike.
It does. It sounds like he's about to make love.
His arms look longer today than usual, perhaps because he's just so downright skinny, a fact which now finally he sheepishly acknowledges. Just visually, I would say my whole body looks better, he says.
There's a good Luka impression there. Whatever. It was a little Italian, too.
Hey, I'm a sexy meatball, so skinny like a spaghetti. Man, ChatGPT going for the whatever that was. Unless it's that writer.
I know like students are using ChatGPT, and I know writers are using it too. Maybe it is because I'm at like this weird age where I've only had the internet in its real way since college. So I had plenty of time before. Like there was AOL and Prodigy and stuff before that, but not real internet. So I have I wouldn't be able to use ChatGPT as my own writing because I would be terrified I'd be discovered for doing it. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm amazing that people, I'm amazed that people aren't more scared to use it. Because it seems like people are getting better and better and the whole internet is always trying to catch somebody doing something. So I'd be terrified to do it, but man, if it doesn't actually sound like it is written with chat. And by the way, it sounds like that specific LLM. It's because I use Gemini and Grok sometimes and ChatGPT, and it sounds like ChatGPT.
I only use ChatGPT when describing male physiques because I'm just that straight. It needs to be outsourced because that description is far steamier and more granular than just too straight, can't do it. Need the help of
Couldn't
artificial
even imagine
intelligence.
Thinking about a guy that way.
No, can't.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's good looking or bad looking. It's just they all look like rocks.
Too busy thinking of football and boobs to think about a guy that way.
Can't think about Luka's delts.
No.
Just not how I'm wired. Need the assistance as this writer has gotten from GPT. But yeah, the Muscle Watch thing, to return it to that, it is funny. It almost seems like it's in response to this lack of umbrage that we used to get from sports radio, that there is so much coddling of athletes these days. And it's not just a wokeness thing. It's also that agents are so important and they're part of the ecosystem. And you're just so perpetually terrified in NBA journalism of making sources angry that it does leave this void. And you can have this abstract the haters out there that you're lashing back out at, but there's not a lot of pressure to actually change your ways for Luka. There's not a lot of pressure of what the hell are you doing, man? Which would be a fair question to ask. And it's a question I have. You're a top 5 player. I don't get how you get sloppy fat. I feel like we make excuses for him. Self-hating American excuses I hear of. It's the American food. It's when he doesn't have the European food. Oh, really? That's the issue?
Oh, yeah. That's
it's
what
our
it is.
fault.
Yeah.
It's our fault. Okay. That's the issue.
Yeah, he's an interesting player to talk about because at once he has been excellent. And I think you could probably say he's been a bit of a disappointment at the same time, even while being excellent. Like for a few years, he was the preseason pick for MVP. And when he was, after his first year, everybody thought he was like, this was his league or whatever. Yeah. And it hasn't quite come true, even though he's gotten to the finals and been a really excellent player. And the thing that has always been there has been that he's just not in good enough shape for a player. By the way, for a player who is handling the ball in every possession and is an obvious target on defense. And it is weird that it has taken him this long, but it's also weird that he wants to announce it in Men's Health and not just show up in camp like Slim. He doesn't need this PR campaign.
No,
like he's right. He doesn't need this. He's not trying to convince people to trade for him or sign him or believe in him. It's like, wouldn't the narrative change immediately if he showed up in the first preseason game and looked like he does in these pictures and move around? Like, it would just change instantly, right?
And when he unleashes that 45-inch vertical leap dunk, that would be quite impressive. I don't think we need this. I don't know if he cares about this. I don't know if this was just an agent twisting his arm because they felt like they had to justify their payment, and they felt like they had to. It's the simple thinking that they have, like they're in a political campaign. They're saying we're fat, we got to do something about it. Call up Men's Health. That's for people who aren't fat. We'll talk to them. Maybe that's what's going on here, because it doesn't make any kind of sense, and it's so straight. Nothing like this would have ever existed 10 years ago. The writer would have just been in whatever this Croatian town is. They wouldn't have said small Croatian town without telling you what the town was.
Right.
And the Zoom interview is this whole other part of it. I guess Laker fans should feel good.
Doesn't everybody just feel exactly the same as they would have felt if this article didn't come out, right? Like Laker fans would have talked themselves into the fact that he's around LeBron or whatever, and he's in LA and he wants revenge on Nico, and they would have talked themselves into all of that. And the people like me who have always just been like, he's kind of fat. All I'm doing is saying, pictures are fake. Like what? Nobody changed their mind on anything, right? I mean, this isn't. Anyone who thought Luka was fat previously still thinks he's fat. And everybody who was a Lakers fan and assuming that he is the next 10 years of Laker basketball still thinks the same thing. So I don't think it changed any. I would love to hear a true, honest profile on him.
Oh, yeah. I don't know much about him.
Fascinating. Yeah.
We don't get those anymore. And I know you've already talked about it and it's out of the zeitgeist. But say what you will about the Embiid article in ESPN, it was that. I do have a sense of how Embiid sees himself, even if I might critique the article as being overly sympathetic. I felt like I got to know him in a way that is rare nowadays.